is pregnant, and during the trip, she suddenly feels sick. Cal pulls the car over, and while Becky steps outside to catch her breath, they hear someone desperately calling for help from a huge field of tall grass beside the road. A frightened voice keeps yelling that he's trapped and begging someone to save him. Without wasting time, they decide to help. As Cal parks the car, Becky calls back toward the field, asking if he can hear her. A young boy answers yes, saying he's been stuck there for days. Before he can say anything else, a woman's voice suddenly cuts him off, calling him Tobin and telling him to stay quiet. Something already feels wrong, but they head into the grass anyway. Becky immediately tries calling 911, hoping to get help before going any farther. Just as the call begins, the signal disappears completely. With no way to contact anyone, the two split up slightly, hoping it'll make finding the trapped boy easier. Cal keeps calling Becky's name, and she answers that her emergency call failed because there wasn't any signal. She tells him to try instead. Cal realizes his phone isn't even with him. Everything was left back in the car. Even stranger, everyone inside the field can hear each other's voices perfectly. That realization makes Becky uneasy. She tells Cal they should forget about the boy for now and head back to the road because they're already starting to lose their sense of direction. Guided only by each other's voices, they try to reunite. At first, whenever they jump above the tall grass, they briefly catch sight of one another. They aren't very far apart. Then they jump again. This time, somehow, they're suddenly separated by an impossible distance. Cal freezes in disbelief. He starts wandering through the endless grass, desperately searching for Becky until he loses his footing and falls. Looking down, he notices dark stains on the grass. Curious, he follows them and finds the body of a dog lying hidden among the grass. Meanwhile, Becky tells Cal that finding a way out is far more important than searching for the trapped child now. As evening slowly settles in, neither of them can find the other. Becky is completely exhausted when a man suddenly appears in front of her. His name is Ross, and he claims to be Tobin's father. Ross calmly tells Becky that if she wants to escape, she should stay with him. But Becky immediately questions him. If Ross already knows the way out, then why is he still trapped here? Ross explains that he's been searching for his wife and son. According to him, everyone has a better chance if they stick together. Becky asks him to help find Cal first, and Ross agrees. Darkness covers the field. Somewhere else, Cal keeps shouting Becky's name over and over, but every answer seems farther away than before. Just when he's almost ready to give up, Tobin suddenly appears behind him. The boy quietly says that finding Becky would actually be easy if she were already dead. To prove his point, Tobin shows Cal the lifeless body of a crow. He explains something deeply unsettling. Inside this field, anything that dies stays exactly where it is. Only the living keep wandering endlessly, searching for one another. Right there, Cal begins wondering if Tobin is somehow responsible for trapping everyone. Tobin quickly denies it. He says someone else once lured him into the grass the exact same way, by calling for help. Then he adds something even more disturbing. Becky doesn't have much time left. Elsewhere, Becky continues walking beside Ross until, without warning, they become separated as well. She keeps calling out for Cal, but instead of hearing him, someone suddenly bursts out of the grass nearby, startling her. At the same time, Cal follows Tobin through the endless field until they reach a massive stone, standing alone at its center. Tobin gently places his hand on it. Instantly, he says it makes him feel good. As Cal reaches toward the strange rock himself, Becky's terrified scream suddenly echoes across the field. Tobin quietly apologizes. Sorry, Becky already went that way. The moment Cal hears her voice, he takes off running without looking back. The next morning, Becky's boyfriend Travis starts searching for both of them after they never return. His search eventually brings him near an old church where he spots Cal's abandoned car. Something doesn't add up. The vehicle is covered in an unusually thick layer of dust, almost as if it has been sitting there for far longer than it should have. While looking around, Travis finds Becky's notebook lying beside the road. That clue convinces him they must have entered the field. Without hesitation, he walks straight into the grass. Travis spends the entire day wandering through the endless maze. By nightfall, he's completely drained and finally lies down to rest for a while. Then, he starts hearing voices moving through the grass. A second later, Tobin suddenly appears behind him. Travis is startled, especially when Tobin calmly says his name. The boy somehow already knows exactly who Travis is, and even knows he's searching for Becky. Without explaining how, Tobin leads him toward her. But when they finally arrive, Becky appears to have already passed away. Travis completely breaks down, overwhelmed with grief. And just as suddenly as he appeared, Tobin quietly disappears into the grass. The next morning, with Travis waking to another desperate cry for help, coming from outside the field. The voice insists that someone is trapped and needs to be rescued. When Travis looks toward the edge of the grass, he's stunned. The person outside is Tobin, standing there with his mother. Tobin tells her he can hear someone inside the field calling his name. Before anyone can react, the family's dog suddenly runs straight into the grass. Tobin chases after it, and his parents rush in behind him. Within moments, all three become separated, and just like that, the nightmare begins all over again. Time passes, darkness falls, and Ross still can't find anyone. Instead, he comes across the same mysterious stone sitting in the middle of the field. The following morning, Tobin's voice echoes through the grass once again. This time, everything becomes clear. The exact scene repeats, the moment when Becky and Cal first heard a young boy crying for help. This place isn't just trapping people, it's trapping time itself. Back in the present, Travis begins hearing Cal and Becky's voices as they enter the field. He desperately calls out to them. Becky hears him immediately, completely confused about how Travis could already be inside. At nearly the same moment, Tobin shouts that his dog is dead. Now, all three can hear one another, yet none of them can actually see each other. Following Tobin's voice, they eventually manage to reunite. Becky asks Travis how he ended up there. He explains that after they never came home, he came looking for them. Cal is shocked. To him, they only entered the field 2 days ago, but Travis says it felt more like 2 months. Now they finally realize the field twists time differently for everyone. The only thing that matters now is getting out. Just then, Becky's phone suddenly rings. The caller urgently tells her not to let Cal harm Travis, and warns her never to leave Travis alone with Ross. Before Becky can ask anything, the call ends. The warning makes no sense, at least not yet. They continue moving until Ross appears once again. He tells everyone he actually found a way out before, but after failing to find his wife and son, he willingly returned to the field. According to him, escaping isn't as simple as walking in a straight line. With no better option, everyone agrees to follow Ross. Hours pass, night falls again, and they eventually arrive at the same enormous stone in the center of the field. Ross tells them that whoever touches it will discover the path to freedom. Cal steps forward first, but before he can touch it, Tobin's mother suddenly appears. She's terrified. She begs everyone to stay away from both her and her son. Then she reveals something that changes everything. Ross has been lying. Without warning, she tries to run. Ross catches her before she can escape and silences her in a shocking act that leaves everyone frozen with fear. Travis shouts. The group scatters in every direction, hoping to escape Ross before he reaches them. Cal eventually comes face to face with him. Ross calmly says he already knows exactly what Cal is thinking. He explains that inside this field, every choice leads right back to the same place. Turn left, turn right, it doesn't matter. Every decision eventually circles back to him. Then Cal notices something impossible. Lying on the ground is his own lifeless body. Before he can even process what he's seeing, Ross attacks him, and Cal's journey comes to a heartbreaking end. Elsewhere, Travis is still alive, desperately searching for Becky. The two keep shouting for each other across the endless grass. Then Ross suddenly appears in front of Becky. His intentions are clearly dangerous. Thinking fast, Becky grabs a nearby pair of scissors and fights back just long enough to create an opening. At that exact moment, rain begins pouring across the field. Becky escapes and runs until she reaches the mysterious stone once again. Then she does something unexpected. She calls her own phone. When another version of herself answers, Becky urgently says not to let Cal hurt Travis, and whatever happens, don't leave Travis alone with Ross, or everything will repeat again. The warning is finally explained. As Becky cries out, the ground suddenly collapses beneath her. Hidden below, countless human remains stretching endlessly beneath the field, revealing just how many people have been caught in this place over time. Soon after, Travis finally reaches them. He finds Becky unconscious on the ground. Then Tobin appears once again. Without any emotion, he says everyone is dead, even Cal. According to Tobin, none of this will ever end. The cycle will simply keep repeating. Suddenly, Ross returns and attacks Travis, knocking him unconscious. Ross then forces Tobin toward the mysterious stone, believing it will finally free him from this endless curse. At that moment, Becky regains consciousness. She rushes in to protect Tobin. Ross turns toward her, and that single distraction gives Travis the chance he needs. Still alive, Travis throws everything he has into one final fight. This time, Ross is finally defeated. But Becky doesn't survive her injuries. With nothing left to lose, Travis makes one final decision. He places his own hand on the mysterious stone. Immediately, glowing red patterns spread throughout the entire field, almost like hidden pathways awakening beneath the grass. Travis leads Tobin toward the edge of the field and tells him to leave. He knows he can't go with him. Before sending Tobin away, Travis gives him one last warning. Whatever happens, never let Becky enter this place. A moment later, Tobin suddenly finds himself standing outside the church. He slowly walks away from the field before spotting Becky and Cal arriving exactly as they did at the beginning. He runs toward them, trying to stop them before they hear the desperate cries for help. Just then, the familiar voice calls out from inside the grass once again. Tobin pauses. Instead of letting history repeat itself, he hands Becky the necklace Travis gave him. Becky stares at it in disbelief. It's identical to the one she already owns. That's the moment she realizes something is terribly wrong. Rather than entering the field, Becky and Cal decide to stay away. They take Tobin into their car, planning to bring him somewhere safe so the authorities can help reunite him with his family. Far inside the mysterious field, Travis remains alone, standing silently as the grass sways around him.